Buffalo Soldier. I ain't hit the button. There you go. Ooh, goodness gracious. I'm burning my mouth. Good morning. I'm singing Buffalo Soldier this morning. Buffalo Soldiers. We need to talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. Apparently, and I don't know if this was real or not. It was a columns of black folk in black uniforms with guns marching peacefully. I'd like to talk about Buffalo Soldiers for a minute. I think it's a good thing. But I'm not sure if it was a new thing. We have to look into it because the text, I think it was a Twitter post or Instagram, it didn't have the right context. I believe in a show of force. Because when you're way down in the jungle deep, every now and then, lion might step on your feet. What you got to say? Y'all know I'm talking about.
Way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on the signified monkey's feet.
Badass lion stepped on the signified monkey's feet. Rudy Ray Moore. What the monkey say?
The monkey said, motherfucker, can't you see why you standing on my goddamn feet, right?
First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, human rights. Rudy Ray Moore. Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I'm glad the black folk taking up guns. I'm glad they are. I don't think they're focused on the right people. I don't think they're focused on, because you know what? Marching with guns is not a violent thing. I'm all for guns. I'm all for guns. Let me bring YouTube in real quick. I'm all for guns. I'm all for every tool. Every tool. People aren't bad. Tools aren't bad. Environments are bad. And when somebody steps on your feet, what do? Hopefully you got some signification to say, you know what? I don't know who's stepping on my damn feet, but you gonna get off. Don't say that you know who's stepping on your feet if you ain't got no eyes. If you can't see clearly, if you're not looking at history, you don't understand what's going on. Please do not proceed to hit anybody with a stick, hit the lion. Some lions are sleeping, they might be on your side. The white people ain't stepping on your feet, black people. I had that discussion with my brother all damn weekend. Like, white people on my feet. White people ain't on your feet, brother. I know you see them, feel like it, but they're not on your feet. Look, put him on back. They're on my feet. No, they're not. The black people on my feet. No, they're not. The immigrants on my feet. No, they're not. That's not them. I know. Somebody told you it was them. Who told you the white people stepping on your feet, monkey? Who told you that? Who told you the black people stepping on your feet, taking your jobs and immigrants? I want to talk about Mexico. I had no idea that they did this in Mexico. Did y'all know there's one damn gun store in all of damn Mexico? Did you know that? I don't like Mexico. I'm done with Mexico. I'm finished with y'all. Love y'all to death. Y'all manufacture some of the prettiest women on the planet, but I am so sick of Mexico right now. Right? Because I see a pattern. If you only got one gun store in Mexico, who gonna have the guns? Everybody in America want to. Everybody, the colonizers want to. When you have a gun control, which is why I'm not for gun control in any way, shape, form, nor fashion, ever. Ever. My gun control stops at the tip of my fingers. I'm not for it. I'll never be for it. Long as your government got militaries and Pentagons and billionaires, as long as they're armed, You'd be crazy, right? Long as the wealthiest people, the kings and lords, got tanks and drones and bombs and they throw these metal death rods from space to hit you and they're making space forces. If you want to do gun control, you're a fool. I love you to death, but I don't want to live next to you. You're a target. That's why they did that in Mexico, right? You take the guns, then the only people who give up the guns are the people who follow the laws. Everybody who is an outlaw, everybody with the warrior genes on, everybody in survival mode will get the guns and they know that you can't defend yourself. So the government gets everything it wants. Governing corporations get everything they want. They traffic the guns in because 75% of the guns all around the world come from the United States, who's behind gun control, which is a very special thing. The same thing with Mexico. Same thing with HR 5717, right? You raise the price, so only the elite have the guns. Only the people who can afford it have the guns. Only those people can defend themselves and everybody else is a victim. And in walks the whole victimhood thing. I am all for black folk having guns as long as the white folk have them and the red folk and the green folk. Because like, here's what I was thinking about. You only will get peace in one scenario. Only get peace in two scenarios. We all develop consciousness, right? We all develop this sentience, this ability to say, you know what, you are you. I have no right to rob you, steal you, kill you, inject you, or do anything to you or your children. We all discover consciousness and we realize we're a part of a whole where everybody needs to have guns. That's my say. The other scenario, right? While power exists, is everybody has to have guns. That's it. We discover consciousness, or everybody has to have guns. It's an ignorant idea that the Lord should have tanks and you shouldn't have anything. It's not going to work out well for you. It's not going to work out well for you if they got tanks, you got a gun anyway. And I'm not saying this for a fight. I'm not saying that for a fight. That's stupid. They're going to get every last one of us. Every last we could be armed to the teeth. The government, U.S. government come in there. They get every last one of us, but it's about a showing of force. And I couldn't find the video. I was looking for the video. Anybody know what I'm talking about? There was a march this weekend and you had droves of black folk in black uniforms with automatic assault rifles. I thought it was a good idea. The problem is the title of the video, and you can't trust the title of the videos because the person who's filming it may not be the person who organized. It was a peaceful march. It was a showing of force. Showing of force is always a good idea. Violence is always a bad idea. A showing of force is always a great idea. You gotta show force. You gotta show force. Because that's the only way you're gonna get peace is they realize that, you know what, I'm showing some force. You're not gonna be doing this to me. Way down in the jungle deep, somebody stepping on my damn feet. When they realize that the cost will be too expensive to continue abusing you and stepping on your feet, that's when they're gonna stop. But as long as you're gonna lay down and scream, take our guns, kings, they're gonna keep abusing. They're gonna keep abusing. So I'm all for it. I just think they're not targeting the right people. All right. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes people take old marches though. I did click on it. But I didn't like read the comments or anything. I had important things to do this weekend. But it was, I think the title said something like, we want to meet the rednecks out on the field. I think is what it said. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? We need to y'all meet us on the field is what the title said, right? That's not what anybody marching said. So don't get discombobulated that that's what it's for. We don't know why they were out there. I don't know why they were out there marching. Maybe y'all do. But I'm glad that they were. But I do got to tell you something. As much as I'm proud of you, peaceful march, showing of force, nobody got hurt. Proud of you. Bad idea though. If you're targeting the wrong people, bad idea. Don't do that too much. Because unfortunately the rednecks in my family too. And like I was saying on Emmy's video this weekend, yeah, you're not gonna be shooting at the family. That's not how that works, right? Like you can have your race war all you want. Y'all can get out there and go shoot each other and go crazy because the television tells you the redneck is your enemy. Besides the fact there's a lot of people with black necks that y'all call rednecks, which is why the term makes no damn sense. The redneck is a red herring. They're not your enemy. They're poor people who live in your country. And the television tells you, televisions you to believe that these people are your enemy, and they're not your enemy. So that's the bad idea. That's the bad idea. You're gonna confuse a lot of things because you're not gonna be coming after my family ain't coming after you. You need to mind your own damn business. And it's not that the rednecks get it and you don't. It's that I'm not interested in your skin wars. That to me is stupid. That's dumb, ignorant. It shows that you didn't do your homework nor study history, right? People have to come together to bring the kings to their knees. You don't go find some other poor people and bring them. It's cowardly. It's cowardly. You know, why would you go find the poorest people in the jungle? It's like the monkey, right? The monkey about to go beat the hell out the lion. You know why? Because that's a signified monkey. That monkey don't get two damns, right? That monkey understand it. You know what? I don't care what you do to me. You on my feet. You on my feet. I don't care what you do to me. I'm conscious. I'm not even alive. I'm gonna go find whoever on my feet and I'm gonna beat the hell out that person with a stick. I'm not gonna go out to the jungle and find a mouse. find another monkey without a stick and we need to fight. Redneck monkeys. It's just stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. The reason why Mexico is a mess, for one, is the war on drugs. Two, it's because only the wealthy and the criminals have guns. That's not a good idea. That doesn't work out well for 99% of everybody else. That's stupid. And that's what HR 5717 is about. Like, we got to get past this idea of it's okay if the wealthy do it and it's a bad, we hit ourselves with our own pain sticks that we can't do. So yeah, I'm completely against gun control. And I don't know what gun culture is. Tracia, I'm not for gun culture because I don't know what it is. Like, I like to talk about things I understand, and I don't understand gun culture. I don't understand like the love and fascination with them. But then again, people in gun culture, I guess, don't understand computer culture. They don't understand my culture, which is fine. You know, they don't understand IT culture and automation culture and learning software culture. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm fine with whatever culture you got. You know, you could have any culture. It's good. Violence is the problem. Like, the tools are never the problem. The culture is never the problem. It's what you do with it, right? Oh, was it Georgia, Regina? Okay, I didn't see it. It was Georgia marching in the place where the KKK resurged, which is a good thing, Gina. It's always a good idea to show force. If you don't show force, people will think you're weak. But always make sure you focus on who the actual problem is, who did this to you, right? This is where people lose it. Because they let that damn television tell them who did this to you. Right? It's always a 0.01% pulling all the strings. They're always pulling the strings, and they made all the races. And to a degree, we say the Democrat Party made the Ku Klux Klan, which is true. Facts. Hashtag facts. And the same bank accounts they have are the same bank accounts they have today. People say, oh, well, they switched parties and the Republicans became the Ku Klux Klan Party. No, they did not. Democrats still got that money, don't they? They still got that money. They burned down Black Wall Street and Tulsa, and all that money stayed in the Democrat Party, which is why I don't do politics, because they keep switching it up. It's like, switch. I remember House Party, switch. They keep switching it up, confusing people. No, but it is a good idea to have a show of force at all times. All times. All times, because you don't ever want violence to happen. And if you got a strong enough show of force, violence will never happen. I'm against violence. I'm a very peaceful man. I'm always about peaceful, but you're only gonna get there two ways. Consciousness, show of force, that's it. When the cost of war is too much, you don't have to worry about lions stepping on your feet. When the cost of war is cheap, because we don't need guns, just the wealthy need guns, then you got a problem. Then you got a problem, because you will give up all your guns and criminals will not. That's kind of like defund the police. Like, in a way, that's what Mexico is. If you really think about it. So only the wealthy in Mexico have guns, because to get a gun, you got to fly to Mexico City, right? And poor people on the farm ain't flying no damn Mexico City. They got to get them an illegal American gun, because we traffic all the guns down there too. But when the poor people don't have weapons and the poor people have no showing of force, which means there's no cost to the elites just walking in and taking their land, right? Like, so that's why I'm not anti-tool at all, and I'll never be for that till the elites give up their militaries. They give up their militaries, then you give up your gun. Be short of that, nah. It's not a crime when you steal gas, and it's okay when they steal gas from Honduras. Like, that doesn't make any damn sense to me. Like, we got to get past this slave mind, this captive mind, this mind that when they do it, it's okay. When we do it, we're bad, right? So I'm all for people need to arm up. That's the only way we'll get peace. But you also got to know who did this to you. You know, the Buffalo Soldiers were named by Native Americans who they killed alongside the white cavalry. All right, no, I didn't know that. Thank you, Kentucky Fried Mama. It's still the Democrat-Republican party. It's split for the show. You know what, Kentucky Fried Mama? I told somebody that this weekend. I said, it's the same party. It's the same. I know it's two sides of the same damn bird. 2 miles on the same snake. And people don't, election year, election time come, people lose sight of that, right? Because it's like the whole cuckoo virus thing. Right? It's just, come on, you know, it's like they're working together. They're playing good cop, bad cop. Both parties are mostly funded by the big pharma companies, the industry. And the big pharma's not gonna fund one to say, yeah, no, we can't cure you, there's nothing going on. And then fund the other side and say, yeah, everybody needs to have a mandatory vaccine. No, they're gonna play good cop, bad cop. And it's gonna, why? Because it's gonna take your guard down, right? So you think Trump is gonna be out there fighting for you, fighting big pharma. And the other side, we need a cure. You know, we gotta go from a patriarch world, patriarch world, to a world designed by Fauci and Bill Gates. It's not gonna be much better. They play people that way, play good cop, bad cop. Why? Because they need to arrest you. They need to arrest you. They need to give you your mandatory vaccine. They need you to take your guard down. And what I'm saying is you need to take your guard up. Hell no, Miss Blanche. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. I just saw that out the corner of my eye. Kanye 2020, no. Kanye was right when he said slavery is a choice. He's right about that. You're supposed to fight to the end, not get on the damn boat. Hey, we got some chains. Somebody said that the other day. They said something about, oh, well, the boat went to Africa and they fooled a bunch of people to get on the boat. They ain't fooled nobody to get on that damn boat. They went over there and got them some black kings to get the whole black tribes and put them on that boat. That's what they did. But if somebody showed up over there and it was like, hey, we're gonna have a cruise, a 3-month cruise. And it's a surprise where we're going. I can tell you, I ain't getting on that boat, man. I don't care what kind of amenities you got. I need to see the boat. I need to see the amenities. I need to see the room. You know, do you have a good vegetarian menu? I need to know these things. You show up, you get close to that Carnival boat, and that don't look like Carnival. Carnival got white boats. I didn't rode a boat before, and they got pretty pictures on the side, and they say Carnival. It got lots of levels and floor. That damn thing is wood. It's wood and tar. You want me to get on? I ain't getting on that thing. Hey, we're gonna put these chains on you. No, this is not the Love Boat. You're supposed to have a ring of flies you put around me, not a chain. Oh no, slavery is a choice. No, but we don't need to do Kanye 2020, Miss Blank. Not where I get down. Now, I get down. How come we can't have nobody 2020? Like, why do we have to have rulers? Why do we have to be ruled? Why can't I strap up my own diaper, right? It's a Velcro. I know how to use that joke. Put that, I can put my own diaper on. I don't want a king 2020. I think we actually have to walk away, Miss Blanche. I think we need to become ungovernable. I think at this point in time, we just got to say enough is enough. You will not be making a Mexico-China out of us, which is what they want to do. That's the new normal. If you ain't figured that out yet, it's Mexico-China. It's Chi-Mexico. Chi-Mexico. Only the wealthy people got the guns. Everything they do is okay, run by a cartel, because every government is a cartel and every cartel is a government. If you do your homework, you understand what that means. And they need a massive police state more like China where the people ain't got no rights. That's what they want to do. That's a Democrat and a Republican party. Why? Because the corporations bought it. That's why. Corporations bought it. Act of 1871, we are a governing corporation. We don't have a government. They do whatever corporations tell them what to do. It's effectively an oligarchy, right? And this is where, am I talking to Miss Blanche? Hey girl, Miss Blanche, this is where I kind of lose it with the whole voting process, right? You can vote all you want. It's a corporation. It doesn't care what you vote for. Like, you can get the people in the mop closet and the mail room and all the people together in the corporation at McDonald's and say, we need you guys to vote. You can vote all you want. At the end of the day, Ronald McDonald, he's gonna make them decisions, and we don't know who actually bought America in 1871. But Elon Musk backs Kanye West. Yeah, well, Elon Musk is a character and Kanye West is a character. Miss Blanche, I really don't do TV too much. This is why I don't really get along with people in the real world, because they believe television, and I deny it. Like, every time the elite folks who own the mainstream media and they own the televisions and the big corporations who buy the commercials, so they own the message in between the commercials, every time they say something, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna need to prove that to me. It's like getting on the boat, slavery is a choice. Kanye was right about that. You're gonna have to prove to me that cruise is gonna be nice. Do you got any references? Anybody take a 3-month cruise to that place called America? Did they have fun? Is there a pool up there? What was the food like? Anybody get sick? I need to know these things. If you can't prove to me that the cuckoo virus is out there, then you're gonna keep playing cuckoo virus with other people. You're not gonna play with me. I need to see the facts and the evidence, and then I'm gonna form my own opinion. So I don't trust anything on the television because it all comes from the people who own the resources and they don't want to share with us. So I think we need to stand down government because it's a cartel. It's not a government, it's a cartel. It's a big corporation that's governing. So I don't want anyone 2020. I don't even want me 2020, Miss Blanche, because how stupid would it be if I was the 2020 president and I don't even know you, Miss Blanche? We just met. I don't know you. I don't know what you like, what you need, was lacking in your life. I kind of think that the human race was designed to be tribal, right? Like I think that it's too big to have 200 million people in a country. How many people in this country? 320 million, 340. I tell you what, it's 320, 340 million too much. It's too much. Because I don't care what them people want, Ms. Blanche. I don't care what they want. I don't care where they want to go, what they want to do. I hope they get it. But to all pull us all together, we need to figure out how to live in a society together, and we all need to agree on everything. And no, I don't know. You're never gonna get 320 million people. You'll never get 32 people to agree on anything. I need to be in a tribe with about 3 people, Ms. Blanche. That's all, 3 people, that's about maybe 4. So we can kind of decide what we want to do in our lands. But like trying to get everybody together, to me, I think it's a bad idea. So no, I'm not saying no government. I'm not saying that. I just think that we need to do a showing of force to the government. Oh, there you go. Was it Georgia? Somebody told me that. What's the name of the march? I'm gonna pull it up. What was the name of the march? It was a Georgia, was that a Black Lives Matter march? Hang on, let Rudy Ray Moore tell you. One more time, I'll let it.
Way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on signifying monkeys. The monkey said, motherfucker, can't you see why you standing on my goddamn feet? Right on. The lion said, I ain't heard a word you said.
Signification. If you got a government that's always stepping on your feet, you got a government that's always stepping on your gun rights, you got a government that's always starving your neighbors, dark or white, to be against you, you got a government that's constantly building new facilities to take children from you in a new normal quarantine. You got a government that takes your children when your water gets turned off or your power gets turned off or you don't get the medications that the doctor says and they report you, or your child is playing something over the weekend, fall off the skateboard and scratched it back up. Now this child protection authority thing is calling you. Then somebody's stepping on your feet. And I think at one point in time, Ms. Blanche, which I favored you this morning because I just saw your post there, is that we absolutely need to show the lion, show the force, right? And I think that comes from walking away. I think a massive dissension of not voting, none of the above, and the people will show up and vote. People will show up and vote, and I know that. There might, hopefully it'll be 5 of them. It'll be 5 of them, and they're all related to Congress, but they'll show up and they'll vote. And they'll put in a new fake president, a new fake Congress, a new fake Senate, all for that United States Incorporated thing. But watching a drop in the polls, they need to see that. That's what I think they need to see. They need to see that we are not governable. They need to see that we are free people. They need to see that we've had enough stepping on my feet stuff, working with corporations. They need to see that we know that both parties are in bed with the same corporations. And you will never get 2 parties in bed with the same corporation in some sort of a sick, nasty, orgy, billionaire, psychopathic, whatever the hell they're doing, and they're not on the same accord, right? Any orgy between Democrats and Republicans and corporations, they all got the same, they all want a climax. And this is a disgusting, this is a disgusting analogy, but it's true. They're all in bed together. And we ain't in bed. We ain't even in, Miss Blanche, we ain't even in the house. We like outside, down the street, in a shack, no food, no water, no air, tied to their infrastructure. They don't even care what we want. So yeah, I'm not for Kanye 2020. I'm not for Trump 2020. I'm not for jive and vote in 2020. I'm not for any of them things 2020. 2020, I'm for the American people to stand up and finally say, the jig is up. The jig is up. We get it. We get now that you were in bed with corporations. Y'all don't never give two damns what we want. You're blowing up our family all over the world. You're killing people in Mexico. You want in that damn war on drugs, which is why 90% of the illegal guns in America on the street, and why all over South America nobody has any freedom, because the war on drugs gives power to cartels, right? It creates this crime wave. Somebody thrives off the cartel, and every cartel is in bed with the government, and every government is a cartel. Right? The jig is up. That's what we need to do. I think we finally need to say, that's it, the jig is up. I don't care who wins. And I don't care who wins. They need to see the TV ratings for these elections, the candidates, when they get together and they start lying about what they're not going to do. Well, maybe they're telling the truth. They get together and have these rallies and tell you the things that I would like to do if you still had your republic. Here are the things that I would love to do if you still had a government. You don't have one, right? And maybe they don't know, but they get in office and people sit them down and they show up and no, politicians don't have any power anymore. That ship sailed a long time ago. Sometime around 1871, I vote for knowledge and mental health. That's right, brother Walt. And how do we know that we voted for knowledge and mental health? Like, here's an example, baby. Whoever voted last election, the previous election before the election, did you vote for things that you didn't get? Or did you end up voting for a corporation that does the same damn thing, turning other people against you in a group-based conflict system that hands your children debts to things that they never bought, never drove, never lived in, and never stole from another country, right? Every war is a racket, and unfortunately, our country right now is a war nation, right? And I don't think that's knowledgeable, Brother Wall. I'm pretty sure you agree with that. I don't think it's mentally healing to have worldwide police actions all the damn time. I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's a real horrible idea to try to mass vaccinate 7 billion people. I don't think that's going to go well. What do you think? I can tell you this, that's when I'm going to get off the boat. That's when y'all need to go ahead and send me on my way. You ain't putting none of your monkey tissue, your embryo tissue, your mercuries, your aluminum. You ain't putting none of that anywhere in me, let alone my children. Not while this heart is... Nope, you stepping on my feet. And way down in the jungle deep, the signified Gerard. Get the hell off my feet. I'm signified. You know, the word signified, signification. Are you significant? Are your children significant? Are they significant enough to build a new world for them? Are they significant enough to perhaps stand down a government that obviously doesn't give two damns what the people need or what they want? Love how we are a worldwide and diversified, different yet a sense of synergy here. Thanks, G, what you bring to the table. Well, I appreciate it, Jonathan. I think we are. I think we represent a lot of communities here, which is why I show up every damn morning. Some days I don't even want to show up, Jonathan. I'm like, you know what? F the world. Screw the world. I'm not doing it today. I'm gonna go out in my garden. I got some broccoli, need some attention. But I come on because my sanity comes from y'all. It's the only reason I'm saying. I'm a hermit. Outside of the stuff on the internet, I'm a hermit. Because there are very few people in my area that actually know what's going down. Very few people even want to know what's going down. Most people want to watch the television. There's something about humans nowadays, modern humans, where they don't want to know the truth. They're scared of the truth. They're fearful of the truth. And I'm not scared of the truth, right? I think my kids are significant, and me being a signified monkey, yeah, they need to be treated significant by the government. And the government don't treat nobody significantly because it's not a government, it's a governing corporation. So absolutely, it's the only reason why I show up. I haven't been impressed with politics in a while. The Democrats and Republicans parties have few overall differences. I was a Democrat back in the day and then voting green. I'm not participating in the voting process this year except for a local town level. Just can't do it. And Brother Brett, that's who we need to be. To me, I think. That's who I am. That's who I am. If I get out and vote, Brett, the highest I'll vote is state level. I won't go beyond that. The states are pretty useless because the federal government bribes them into doing what they want. But the local government, we have on paper, right, by the law, we do not have a federal government. We have a United States Corporation Incorporated, which is a for-profit company that governs. That's not a government. They don't actually have to do anything we say. They're not obligated to a constitution, a bill of rights, human rights, nothing. There is nothing that they have to do because they are literally a corporation. But at the state level on down, you still have a government. So if I vote for anything, Brett, it would be a government. If I'm not voting for a corporation, I'm not doing this no more. I mean, that's as silly and ignorant as the whole CDC WHO thing. Like going to a for-profit vaccination corporation and asking them for help with nature. There's nature and this, oh, Sister Brett, I'm sorry, Sister Brett. You know what? I had a Brett growing up. I had a Sister Brett growing up. She got on my bus stop with me. She's still around here. I think she changed her name a little bit. I'm sorry, Brett. And we're Americans. We're indoctrinated here, right? Like we see a name and we kind of project on it what we're indoctrinated to. Oh, she was fine too. Brett, oh, she was fine. She wouldn't give me that phone number. No, yeah, so we need to start putting into action the things that we know. And what we do know is we're constantly being played by this corporation. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree that you're not going to squeeze a vote out of me. I tried Republican, I tried Democrat, I tried Green. You're still blowing up countries, you're still robbing people, you're still rolling new legislation and laws where it's okay when the wealthy do it, and loopholes and escape hatches for everything, all the laws that they create, and only the poor people are subject to those laws. Right? And so I don't want to do that no more, right? I can't invade my neighbor, steal some resources, steal the television. They got a nice big television. I can't do that and go over there and get that air conditioner. So if I can't do it, what you doing in Mexico? Right? Mexico, oh, by the way, did y'all know Mexico has one of the largest lithium mines in the world? Does that sound familiar? This is why Mexico will not be allowed to become a modern nation, not in any big way. They're going to keep blowing everything up. They're going to keep it with the war on drugs for the lithium. Why? Because cartels, they don't care about drugs. That's a drug cartel. No, cartels are just cartels. They're just governments. That's all they are. They want whatever's got money. And if the biggest lithium mine in the world is one of them is in Mexico, I can promise you, you will never have peace in Mexico. You will never get equality. You'll never have consciousness. You'll never get gun rights. Why? Because in destabilized countries, we've done this all over the world. The United States Incorporated. They did it all over Africa, and they did it all over Latin America. They destabilize you and steal your resources, right? That's who they are. That's what they do. It's like the WHO. For-profit vaccine companies. Did anyone actually think that they were going to have a cure for you that did not involve their product, how they make money? Right? It's like asking Coke to heal Pepsi. They're not going to tell you it's lemonade. They're not going to tell you sugar is bad. It's a carcinogen. They're going to give you their product. Cure is my product. I don't know why anybody trusts that. It boggles my mind. Why do people trust that television that literally gets its answers from politicians who are bribed by Big Pharma? Which means they're not in that role capacity being lobbied. They're not actually politicians. But they're not politicking for you. That means they took money from a massive corporation and they just have a job to do, which is to create whatever it was purchased. Write the laws for whatever was purchased. That's not a politician. It's called a salesperson, right? A salesman, and a bad salesman and saleswoman, right? Because they're not even good at what they do. You know, somehow Donald Trump went from, we need to test every single vaccination and get Robert F. Kennedy Jr., get him out there and figure out what the hell is going on. We got kids with autism. We need to, whatever. And the passion in people get up because you mentioned autism. Everybody thinks about a friend, a little baby, or somebody with autism, and you need to have somebody investigate that. That investigation start. What time is it? 7/6, July the 6th. 2 days after the day we celebrate our Pretendependence Day. I like that from the 4th of July movie, the Pretendependence Day, the day that we thought we got independent, but we're not actually independent, where if they pretended that we were independent, we're still owned by the Bank of England or Britain or somebody over there. Yeah. So when's he gonna investigate vaccines? When is Trump going to do that? Is that on the plan? Is that am I still to trust the plan? And this is not anti-Trump. It's anti-politics. It's anti-being lied to. It's anti-fantasy and pretending that we actually have a say in a world where billionaires would never, never, ever, ever put some damn monkeys in charge of their most biggest cash cow corporation of a nation they use to blow up countries and steal resources. They never put us in control of this thing. So yeah, I don't believe in pretending no more. That's the future president. West to you. Oh no, President West, who's that? What West? John Anthony West? Ain't he dead? Or are you talking about the general, the black dude, the West dude? No, I don't want him neither. I don't want no president. I'm okay. Who's that? Courtney? I'm good. If that's who y'all talking about, I'm grown. I can make my own tea and smoothies. I can grow my food. I can dig a water well. I can take care of my damn self. I don't need nobody. I want to be in a tribe with about 7 people, maybe 7 people. We can decide things together. If things don't work out, I'm going to leave. But being a part of a massive plantation, collect taxes and create free labor for billionaires, yeah, I don't want to do this nation thing anymore. All right, he's a distraction for Biden, so his BFF gets another term. Still calling T for win, and he will be our last president, my prediction anyway. He's calling for T to win. So Daniel, you like T? I don't like presidents. That's it. It's the office. I don't like the office of the president from within a corporation that doesn't think anybody's life matters. Right? I think the people low in that organization are always pretty corrupt because the corporation's corrupt. You can't go to a corporation that has no virtue and they tell you to do something and you call it virtual signaling. That's not virtue signaling. Right? If the corporation you have are mobsters and bankers and cartel and they've showed you that they don't give 2 damns about nobody's life ever, and they got these black people out here on the street yelling and screaming at you and making you fearful and wanting to get out in the street and hit yourself with some chains and stuff and apologize for stuff you didn't do. And now they're marching with guns and they're focused at you because these folks don't seem to realize that this is the model, that capitalism, communism, socialism, whatever they want to do at the time, it will always utilize the most emotional topic to fool people, just to turn people against each other so they can keep the model of doing what they're doing. No lives matter. Yeah, I'm not interested, Daniel. I'm not. I'd rather it collapse. I think Trump is funny. Don't get me wrong. I think he's funny. I like the idea of if we're going to continue playing ignorant world and fantasy world and pretending what is not true on paper and law is actually true, that we have a government. We're going to keep pretending that. I'd rather it be a comedian. I'd rather it be a Twitter thug. I'd rather be somebody that obviously nobody should be taking seriously. I will say that, but I won't say that I like Trump. I don't care for the office of the president at all, not from within a corporation. Anyone in politics or on the side of evil, none of them care about us at all. They're just pretending. Right, Norman, that's the thing. It's like at a certain point in time, how long are we gonna watch this show? Right? I feel like we've been at a puppet show for how long now? 1871? Exactly 149 years, which I find highly interesting. So we've been playing puppet show for 149 years or 3,000 years, however long this crime against humanity has been going, this idea of governing, whether you call it feudalism or communism or capitalism, it's all the same thing. It's called a government. And you will never have rights to a government. All right, you are a subject, you are a citizen, you are a commodity, you are a slave, by the same means. They govern you. They have the right to do anything they want to do, and they've all done that. You can talk about the Bill of Rights, Constitution, all you like. That's interesting. It's good to put it on paper, but you will only get the rights that you stand up for. Your rights literally aren't able to be put on paper. Your rights are in your heart. See that monkey? That monkey has heart. Right? That monkey is signified. That monkey's got some rights. That monkey is willing to go take that stick and beat the hell out that lion because the lion stepped on his feet. You're the only rights that we will ever have are the ones we stand up for. And if the governing corporation's been taking your rights and you're voting for it, you're consenting to it, then obviously you don't really have any rights. Exactly, Trish. It's an abusive relationship, right? If they're constantly treating us like a slave and we don't have any rights, and anytime a corporation decides that we need to be in face diapers because they want to give everybody a new normal and mandatory vaccinations, and you vote for that, then we're going to get exactly what we deserve. It means we have no rights. They take them anytime we want. Rights don't come from a government. They come from your heart. They come from your heart, which is why I'm glad the black folk are out there with guns and in uniforms. I just wish they would point them the right way. That's what I wish. I wish they wouldn't point them at white people. I wish they wouldn't point them at the Ku Klux Klan. I wish they wouldn't point them at the skinheads, because I don't see the skinheads taking your resources. I don't see skinheads going in the ghetto, taking the grocery stores and the food, right? I don't see the Ku Klux Klan taking land and saying that you can't have land. Ku Klux Klan don't own no land, neither does the skinhead. They own no resources. Stop watching the damn television. It will make you stupid. We did the whole warrior wise thing. It's good to be a warrior, but it's useless if you aren't wise. Right? Be a wise warrior. Or you're not warrior. You're a slave to kings and lords and televisions. Parties don't change the system, exactly, Jazz, but they weren't designed to, right? You have a system. The system created parties, and the parties aren't going to change the system. The purpose of the system is profit. The purpose of the system is power. And the only way you get profit and power is you need free laborers to continue working, and you print the money to keep them working, and you need to take their rights. And that's how you have that power and money. So all the system, that's the model of the system, right? If you want to have freedom, then the basis of your system has to be a freedom economy. If you want happiness, then you have to have a gross domestic happiness. But as long as you have a gross domestic capitalist, then it means that you will be a slave to whoever has the most capital. They will buy away your rights and buy away your government at any point in time. I do really well if I lived in such an environment. I'm a maker, an artisan, grower of all things. That's because you're an adult, Jeannie. That's the problem with you. You're grown. You like to take care of yourself. You like to make your own things. You don't need little slave children in China to make yours while you're out on the street yelling, screaming how Black Lives Matter, but little black people making you free stuff in another country, or little Chinese people, however you want to put that. And that's what I'm saying. Be a warrior. You got the warrior. Be wise. There are a lot of people who are wise, but they're not warriors, right? That's useless too. You can be wise all you want, but if you don't have the warrior to get that stick and go there and hit that Federal Reserve in his back, go in there and hit them billionaires in their back, go hit that Walmart and that Target and that Elon Musk and that Amazon. If you're not willing to pick a fight with the people who pick the fight against you, you're useless. Wars are coming. Wars are on the rise. We've been at World War III for a long time now. I think it's wrapping up, and now they're going to deploy the things that they want to. And that's that mandatory manufacture shot. And I can tell you this. You're not going to deal with war. You're going to have wars. You're going to deal with a destabilized planet because a lot of people ain't going for it. They're already testing on Africa right now. Reports have already come in. They're testing on the poor people over there because they have no other choice. We kept them in the third world with our American privilege, which will all be taken away from us. Right? That's why you don't have to worry about white privilege. You don't have to worry about black privilege, yellow privilege, immigrant privilege, any privileges you got. They're all going to be taken. Your paternal privileges as a patriarch, as a man, they're going to take those too. Because that's what they do. They've always done that. They give you rights to get you to go off and do something stupid for them, and that 0.01% takes it right back. That's why no Americans own any land anywhere, or anything that government can't take anytime it wants. They give them monopoly on force, so they rule everything. Just like Mexico. Right? You will become China, Mexico. That's where we're at. New normal is China, Mexico. Fun game I saw last night. Type any number in your browser for the COVID number, and it'll pop up in the news matching that. It's a riot. I saw those, man, Amanda. I saw people were they're like, the significance of COVID 775. I think I'll be on that post too, man, because I went over there and I typed it and I was like, oh my gosh, numerology, something's happening. And it's like, no, it's just everything has COVID in it, and they have numbers everywhere now, right? Because that's what everybody's talking about. Cuckoo virus, cuckoo virus, cuckoo virus, cuckoo virus. And I'm like, y'all know they're making you cuckoo. You know that's what happened, right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're just salespeople in the news selling you on what these big corporations want. There's no party with good morals. Christine, you give them too much credit. Christine, you're so positive. She's always so positive. Oh, there's no party with good morals. There's no party with good nor moral. There's no even no party. They're literally just actors. They're puppets on the stage with strings. Good morals, my goodness. You are so positive. I wouldn't have said it that way. I'd say there's no party with any any semblance of sentience or consciousness. These dark creature monarch, what it was called, and archon, dark deep vibration, blowing up buildings with children and starving populations, and there's morals. I don't even think we can't even. It's not even in the book. Not in the book. If we wrote a book about the Democrats, Christine, you word moral, you could do a search and find on morals, and you're not going to find it. You ethics, you're not going to find that either. Same thing with the Republican Party. If you wrote a book on them, an autobiography, no, biography, not autobiography, because you hear them tell it. Jesus come again, and the other party is Satan. Good cop, bad cop, that's just how the game is played. But if you wrote a book on them, a biography, all it would be is money, 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 because that's all it is. That's all they care about. That's all that's important to them. I think we should give more power to the local community. Screw this massive system. We have to, Tommy, or at least we need to threaten them, right? And that's what voting, not voting is. It's a show of force. So somebody hopes it was Georgia. It was Georgia where the protest was. Let me see if I can find it. I don't watch the news. Maybe y'all show me which one this is. I do want to look at it. Like it was a show of force, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm definitely for poor people being armed at all times. At all times. I would never turn against poor people being armed. They got to have a showing of force. But voting together, not voting, is a show of force. You know. But I don't think people will get there until they do their homework. You got to do your homework first. Like if you're just doing it to threaten them, you're gonna go back vote next election, then you just go on and go ahead and vote. Like you do your homework and you realize that this is just a corporation and they've never done anything for you, and it doesn't really matter who the president is, that it's big pharma. I told y'all 5 years ago that you're gonna get mandatory vaccine. You go back and watch the video. I told y'all 5 years ago you're gonna get your mandatory. It doesn't matter if Clinton wins, because people were saying, yeah, we gotta vote for Trump to stop Clinton. You can vote for Trump all you want. You're still gonna get the things that were purchased, right? I think that some of the humor might have slowed some things down. I don't think he was like on the right email list, and he maybe slowed down the military industrial complex. He had that thing where he let all them black people out of prison, and I don't think that was the plan. And Black Lives Matter did not like that. They're like, you keep those black people in there. That's where I lost it with them. That's where I lost my mind. I said, what? I said, are you kidding me? It was an Al Jazeera discussion about the First Step Act, where they were letting all them black people out of prison. And he had them up on stage talking and stuff, and they were debating about it. And the only people who were anti on the panel were Black Lives Matter. They're like, no, this is not a good idea. And they didn't say that. They're like, yeah, you need to keep them black people in prison. I was like, yep, that's not a hashtag I'll ever use again. Let me see. Trump tweets gun video, NBA plan. Is that it? Is that the gun video? Should I click on that? Bloomberg weaponry. He tweeted this morning, said, my executive order protect monument statues in full force and effect and excess, right? But you'll never be free. You don't want to hide it like, yeah, we're free now, so we can knock down these statues. We don't have to keep fighting the power. No, you literally got to keep fighting power, because you are worse than a slave. You are a commodity. So I'm not for that. Mexican lives matter? No, they do not, Norman. Not with the war on drugs. They don't matter neither. Okay, I don't like them. Mexican lives do not matter. Like, I don't believe in saying hopeful things to governing corporations that aren't even interested. They don't even read the Sharpie signs. They don't care, right? They just go to the corporations, they get their lobbyist bribe, and they do what the corporations tell them to do. They have no interest in anybody's life matter. No lives matter. Nope, Mexican lives do not matter. Right? Those people are not free at all. Those people can't even have their own country without our influence, right? We have a puppet government that runs things down there, and shoot, we're in bed with the cartels. Don't we pick the cartels that get to be down there? We want the lithium, and as soon as one of the world's billionaires decides that it's time to go get that Mexican lithium, we'll do a deal with the Mexican cartel, or you're gonna have boots on the ground in Mexico. That's what the brother was talking about, boots on the ground in Mexico. He said it's coming. Because Mexico obviously has terrorism. That's what they'll do. They'll lie. They'll lie because that's what they do. I don't know why you have a face diaper for. They're going to lie. They're going to say they got terrorism. It's ISIS, ISIL. They'll make up a new name, put M in there, Mexico. It'll be Mexican ISIS, MISIS. We got to go fight the forces of freedom and democracy and fight MISIS. They're coming through the tunnels. We built a wall and it's the mice. Mice is coming through the tunnels. And they'll go down there and blow up some towns and kill some people. No, they do not matter. We need to accept the reality. Accept the reality. If you understand what I'm saying, let's speak reality. Let's not speak what we want. Let's speak the reality so we can talk about what we need to do. If you speak the reality that no lives matter, hashtag NLM, then we know what to do together. That's why I love that hashtag, because it says that we have no reason to fight each other. We are the problem if we're fighting each other. We want lives to matter, so we need to get to a point where lives matter. But right now, nobody's lives matter. We're just commodities. Entire nations are just commodities to corporations. They don't have medical resources. No, they don't, Courtney. They don't have anything down here. We stole it all, but that's how you keep people in conflict with each other, is you take the resources. Ghettos don't have resources. Trailer parks don't have resources, right? You put people in these little efficiencies best that you can to control them. Ooh, I got a picture of the new normal. So yeah, I don't see a police chief resigns as officer shot dead African-American man. I don't see the march. Marchers call for justice, police accountability. Is that it, Gainesville? Is that it? At a depot, blah, 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 black spot, blah, the horse named Juniper. I don't even know what the hell. I probably had to clear. It might be important. It's a horse named Juniper was at the march. They're teaching horses to use guns now. Is this it? No, I don't think this is it, because I don't see any guns. This isn't it. Oh, they got a microphone. Or was this the beginning to it? No, I think it's a good idea, and I think y'all should be cheering on people who peacefully take up guns and say, yeah, we done had it. Oh, let's click through the pictures. Black Lives Matter, white silence. You'll see this. We should do that. I used to do that. Remember, we used to read the signs. I like reading signs from protests and just like, you need to spend a little more time doing your homework and research before you make the time. So first of all, something about white silence. I have to disagree with that sign. The white folk ain't never been silent. They ain't never shut up. They've been going on and on. You need to have freedom of speech. You got to have your way. Restore the republic. They've been saying that for a long time. No, so there ain't no white silence. So yeah, I disagree with that sign. Black Lives Matter. I disagree with all them signs. It's a political organization. They just want to get votes on black bodies dropping and pretending that the white bodies ain't dropping. Justice for Tony. Yeah, I don't know who Tony is, but I want justice for Tony. I agree. If something bad happened to Tony McDade, I don't follow the news, so I have no idea who he is. If he was killed by police, then I think Tony and anybody who looks like Tony should not be killed by police, which includes the white folk with 2 legs and the yellow folk with 2 arms and 1 arm and people with hair and eyes. If anybody's being violated, like Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. You can't ignore that fact and expect me to cheer. Right? If we know the majority of black people are killed by black people and the majority of white people are killed by white people, then we need to create environments where black people don't kill black people. That's the majority. We'll deal with police, but that's way down that priority list, right? They're not killing as much as the TV makes it seem. Remember, tell lies and visions. No, if you want to help black people or white people, you got to get resources to their communities. You got to get them land. You got to get them water and food. You got to stop with artificial scarcity laws pretending that this is reality. This isn't even reality. So yeah, I agree. So I want justice for Tony, but more than anything else, I want prevention for everybody that looks like Tony. Everybody in Tony's family, all 7 billion people in Tony's family, we need prevention because they're going to keep making Tonys. They're going to keep making George Floyds. They're going to keep making Chris Gardners or Eric Gardners and Chris Gardners. They're going to keep making Lavoy Finnecombs. They're going to keep doing it till you have a show of force. They don't care about your sign. They don't care about your marching. They don't care about nothing. They blow up nations with tanks. Okay? They don't care about that. The only thing they care about is ROI. When you show them that taking your rights and stepping on your feet is going to create a large return on that investment, because people used to say, hey, listen, we want to be peaceful, but we'll use force if we got to resist, not to attack, but to resist. Then that's when the vaccine companies decide, well, maybe we're not going to force it on you. Right? You have to make it costly, and that's when they won't do it. That's when they'll stop shooting people, is when you figure it out. See, right now, most people haven't figured it out. Like, why do black lives not matter? Because no lives matter. Right? White lives don't matter, no lives matter. That's why they don't matter. And they keep writing laws to make sure that they don't matter. And so as long as the white folk are fighting the black folk, and the black folk are fighting the white folk, they're going to keep writing for-profit legislation that creates artificial scarcity, like the war on drugs, and keep building prisons and doing anything that makes profit, and nobody's life will matter. When you figure it out, that's when they'll stop. Until you figure it out, they're not stopping, right? That's a system. They're not evil. The Democrats aren't evil. The Republicans aren't evil. They're systems. There are some persons in those parties, but those persons don't have any control over the system. The system is taking all power and all money, right? That's what the system is designed for. That is what it's going to take. And until you change the model of that system, nobody's life will matter. If you're neutral in something of justice and oppressors, okay, that's a nice sign. But yeah, once again, do you know who the oppressor is? And focus on justice after you have prevention. It's more important to have I think this, no, I don't know, this isn't it. No, this isn't it. Because they had assault rifles. Oh, they got wanted pictures on a shirt for the police. Silence is acceptance. I agree. And ignorance is encouragement. Right. And this is not a thing of me talking bad about the protester. I'm fine with every protester. I just think you need to really think about the strategy of your actions. Think about the strategy, right? Take that passion and put it into research more than making a sign, right? So yeah, they don't care if you march. They don't care about your silence. They only care about your force. What else we got? Resist is always a good thing. Say her name. I don't know what that is. I can't breathe. Justice can't wait. Black lives matter. Yes, no, they don't. It's good that everybody can breathe. Justice can't wait. Justice can wait. Justice, I don't care nothing about justice. It's all about prevention. It's all about the environment. We make good environment. You have too many people right now who need resources, right? So the majority, once again, if the majority of black folks are being killed by black folks, is because those areas don't have resources, then the best way to save lives, the most lives immediately, is give resources to those communities. And the people who are gone, you don't worry about them. They're happy. They're fine. It's us that are still here in hell. Let me see. The lives that matter are the ones that fit the narratives and serve the purpose of division. Absolutely, Trish. You're right. If you are agreeing with the system, you will be popular. You will be popular. Trish, if you wanted to be a popular live streamer, all you got to do is get on there and start saying to go vote for this person and start making a good case for why you should do it. If you embrace the system will embrace you. If you embrace slavery, you'll get a whip, right? You'll get $100 million. You can create a movement. But if you want to end the system or take out a key component of that system is required to attack you. And that's why you don't see the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, everybody out there the same way it was when the kids did Occupy. Right? But you focus on the money and the power, the system will show up. And that's how you know you're hitting the system where it hurts. Until the system shows up, you're firing blind in the dark. I agree with resist, but you're not going to tell me to resist by voting. Right? So I like the shirt. I think we should resist. But are you voting in the next election? If you're voting, that's not resistance. That's called compliance. Come together, Republicans and Democrat corporations. Kentucky Fried Mama, that's the only thing they fear. The only thing they fear is Republicans and Democrats realizing that they're both being played. If they actually figure that out, it's going to be a problem. That's when that CIA and FBI, whatever's going to show up. I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. So maybe was it really Georgia? I'm talking about the march where they had guns. It was like 100, maybe 100 folk in black uniforms marching with assault rifles and gear. Maybe they removed it. And that would make sense to me if they just removed the news of it. Or it was an old protest from 1914 or something. Sometimes they'll do that. They'll make it seem like it's new, but it's not, it's old. So anyway, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. But no, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm all for force. I'm not for violence. Nicely, they have their masks on. All right, you know, I just said Christine was nice a minute ago. You're not resisting. Did she have a mask on? Was she resisting in a mask? I wasn't paying attention. I only partially pay attention. If you do what Master tells you to do, if you wear what Master tells you to wear, if you're scared of what oh yeah, they do. Lord have mercy. I didn't even see that, Christine. If you are, see, just little sister right here, sisters are all right here, all these right here, right here. Oh, we're going at least 4 rows deep as far as my eyes can see. Everybody got a mask on. Yeah. That's not a resistance. That's a political movement. That's a political step. That's not a resistance. Right? I'm sorry, it's not. If you really don't care the force that the state can levy on you, then you're not going to be scared of the air. The air is not going to be bad enough. You know, I don't wear a mask because these people are nuts. I don't believe my God. If you believe Master, you'll never defeat Master. If you trust Master, you'll never defeat Master. If you listen to the plantation, you're not going to defeat the plantation. The revolution will not be televised, and nothing true will ever make the news. Right? No solution that will really ever oppose the system will ever be on the mainstream media. It's illogical. That's what the saying means. The revolution will not be televised. So you are not a revolutionary if you're doing what's on the television. The tell-lie vision. You're not a revolutionary, you're a reactionary. And there's nothing more dangerous than a reactionary. And, you know, hopefully, you know, so once again, I'm not against the people. I don't agree with anybody all the time. First of all, let's say that. Let's put it that way. I just think that you need to put a little more energy into doing your homework and who did this to you and what the solution can be, and prevention immediately, because it can be immediate. You don't have to fight through the system, and the law is slow to change. Yes, I know, unless Big Pharma wants it. And it changes overnight. If you want it, they tell, oh, it's the law is slow to change. No, there's only one law, all the rest gotta go. The one law is you can't abuse anybody. End of story. Everybody is on their own timeline, absolutely, and got their own gravity, genie in their own world, and their own realities. But some people are in the TV reality, and that's dangerous. Everybody needs to have their own reality. All forms of human leadership will end up corrupt. Thank you, Tommy. This is why I get down with Tommy. This is why I get down with Tommy, because you say deep things. All forms of human leadership will end up corrupt. And why is that? Because leading any human is a corrupt philosophy. The idea that you should have the right to lead anybody else, to take power, is a corrupt idea. Human beings need to be free like birds and bees and everything else out in nature. Human beings don't respond well to corruption. So the very premises of government is that. Outside of the fact that anything that gains a big following is always corrupted, all the movements are corrupted. So, you know, it's not a hit on Black Lives Matter. It's just an understanding on what the U.S. corporation always does. It will not let you have a movement in its land. All right. It figures that it owns this land, and it owns you. It provides your water, your food, your power, your oxygen, and your job is to work for free and consume and then die at their choosing. Right? That is your job. You step out of that in any way, sort of fashion, you will find the state will descend upon you. So yeah. Oh, you're sitting at the sipping on a Cinnabon coffee right now. Are you? Baby steps. Okay, Amanda, take your baby steps. And don't drink too much of it. Stay away from that damn unicorn latte. All right. Cinnamon is good for you. Yeah, but Jeannie, not all cinnamon's created equal. No, not all cinnamon. I forgot the different types. There's cinnamon, and you got that fake cinnamon, the cinnamon. Be careful of fake cinnamon. Usually that's probably one they sell at the dollar store, but I forgot the details. Somebody here knows what I'm talking about. Not all cinnamon's created equal. There's a certain one that you want and a certain one that you don't. I think Christine was being sarcastic, saying that they were wearing masks. No, she was not, Trish. They were wearing masks. They sure enough were. Massa said, okay, now y'all can get out there and protest against the plantation, but before you go out there, you gotta wear a pink ribbon. And it's like, this is the master that beat you. This is the master that created the police state, and they care about you, huh? They care about you. They don't want you to get the sniffles and the cuckoo flu. I might even unregister to vote. Ooh, don't vote. They can't steal your vote. That's a good point, Sandy Carr. We might have to go that far. Because you know what? You're right. Because if we just don't vote, like, not voting is nothing. That doesn't mean anything. Not voting, you might have had an operation day. You might have been sad that day. You're planning to vote next election. Yeah, I think you are absolutely right, Sandy. Yeah, you're right. We have to unregister. You have to make a very firm stance and statement that I'm not voting. I'm not, this is a protest. This isn't a thing of lazy. This is a protest. I'm not out the country. I'm in the country. And I realize that I don't own my country. I don't own any land. I don't own a house. I can't own a car. And you will take anything that I want. So yeah, no, I'm unregistered. Absolutely right. We need to unregister from everything we can. Good point. Very good point. I need to look at how to unregister to vote. Is that even a thing? Did Master give us the unregistered? Do we have a form? Is it like, thinking about it though, Sandy? I don't think there's a form to unregister to vote. I need to unregister to vote. That's what I need to do. I need to unregister my driver's license too. I need to unregister being a commodity. I need to reclaim my birth certificate, which is probably the same thing. And I used to love puppet shows as a child, not anymore. Oh, Norma, you should like puppet shows. Ain't nothing wrong with puppet shows. Puppet shows are important. Puppet shows are fun. Just not when the puppet theater is based in war and violence and killing people and human trafficking. That's not a puppet show. That's the distraction away from what the actual establishment is for. We were slaves before and the flood, and that's just spiritual now. Ooh, we were slaves before and after. The flood is just spiritual now. Ooh, well, maybe it was always spiritual, Tommy. I don't know. The point is, you're right. We're slaves. That's the bottom line. We were slaves then, we're slaves now. Everybody been a slave. Everybody came from slaves. People need to stop fighting over who is the worst victim and just say, no, slavery needs to stop. That's the end of it. We're done. We will not let you make a model of leadership and abuse that is based in free human labor, because they print the money, so it's totally free. We are all free. Leaders need to help people to be independent. That is the only good thing they should do. That's it, Christine. I agree with you. That's all. A leader, if we're going to have leaders, the only thing they should do is empower people. That's it. You got a leader, empower people. Go out there and look for some people that need some power. We got the exact opposite of that. Like, we have a leaders like, ooh, we need to find some power and take some power. What y'all got? What you have? You got voting rights, you got gun rights, you got, oh, you think you're free, and all they do, that's what they take power. They seize power with every piece of legislation they write. So I agree with you. If you are actually a leader, you empower people. Which is why Washington has no leaders at all. They're not fighting the power, they just taking the power. They need to fight their own power and give it back to the people. They're not doing that. Absolutely agree, makes perfectly good sense. No, parties don't change the system, Jasmine, they support the system. As long as you pick a side of the plantation, be prepared to be whipped and teach your children what the lashings feel like, because they're gonna get a lot more of them. Norma's watching the shadows on the wall. All systems need to fall and never become what they have to this day. Well, that's called growing up and learning, Daniel. Dudism, right? That's what it is. When you realize a system based in power will always take the power from the people, then we need to have a planet where there is no power. I don't have an issue with systems, but the power systems that take the things that the human beings need to all go away. Ooh, what the CDC says something. Hang on, Trish gonna tell us what the CDC said. And remember, keep in mind, this is coke. Yeah, I don't live in the CDC world because I don't take any of their drugs. They're not medications to me, they're poison. But I'm interested in what they did say, Trish. But I'm not gonna believe it because I'm not in their world. They're still doing experimentations on people. When they actually have products that are based in science, I'll be good to go. Or science that's closer to being settled, which will never be settled. Right now, the two new. CDC says deaths are down. Oh, are they? Virus is running out of steam. Bill Gates is losing his mind, seeing his mass mandatory vaccine dream in danger. So the media screams, more masks. Their web is unwinding. You know, Trish, I like your view. I like your reality better than mine. I don't really see that. I think the CDC probably put stats out because they know people aren't watching it. They already got the nocebo effect in full effect, and people believe. I went from watching very few people wearing masks outside to almost everybody here wears a mask outside. So I think people don't, the CDC knows people don't go to their website, they don't look at their stats, and they don't care. They just watch the news, and that tells them their televisions and how they need to act for the day. But the flu season always comes to an end. Bill Gates is losing his mind. I don't think Bill Gates is losing his mind either. I think he paid a lot of money for these politicians on the Democrat and Republican Party to give him what he wants. He's obviously in bed with the UN and big people who actually make the decisions for the world. So I don't think they're quaking in their boots at all. I think Fauci might be quaking in his boots a little bit because they'll turn people in, and apparently he was involved in that $3.7 million of creating the cuckoo flu and sending it to Wuhan. But I'm not seeing that change. I think we're going to win, but I think as long as you got people protesting with assault rifles and they got masks on, as long as they got masks on, the plantation is on top. Master has nothing to fear. In the media, but they're pumping it out. They're pumping out the advertisements on a regular basis. They're really trying to get people to be scared of this damn cuckoo flu. Like the virus is avoiding protests and likes to party. And that's exactly it, Kim Jackson. Is, you know, people are out been protesting. How long the protests been going on? Starting with the first protest to go back and restart slavery. First, the right stood up to protest and said slavery's a good idea. Let's go be some slaves again in the crony world and work for the United States corporation and people, international billionaires, and instead of restore the republic. That was the first protest. And then you had these protests. And it's been, what, 2 months maybe worth of protests? Where are all these sick people at? I still don't know one person, Kim Jackson, with the cuckoo virus. I don't know one person. I don't know one person at all. And I know a lot of people. I know thousands of people. I know people that know people that know people that know people. I don't know anybody. And besides, what was his name from this week? His name, Russell Peters? The comedian? Is that his name? Russell Peters, whatever. He said that his friend passed away. He went on Joe Rogan and said, yeah, my friend passed away. He said the doctor gave him 3 months to live. He had cirrhosis and liver cancer, I think it was. And he said, my friend died. And the doctor said it was cuckoo virus. And he said, this is some bullshit. It's just bullshit, right? You have confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that they're faking the statistics. I don't know why anybody's still scared anymore. Only other than brainwashing. The only reason why you would still be scared is brainwashing. People had their brains washed and they can't see clearly. They can't see clearly now because the rain ain't gone. Positive thoughts, G. You're right. I know, Trish. You're right. I'm wrong. I know. You have to. I know. Plus, there's a lot of people not wearing masks in my community, so that helps my optimism. I'm glad, Trish. And this is why. Remember how we say the people experience doesn't really matter. It's all about the person. Like in your personal experience, you're seeing that, and that's good, and it's keeping you positive. I'm not seeing that. I'm waiting for the war to start. I'm waiting for the truck to show up. We got your vaccine, Gerard. All right, let me do my stretches. And who's that in the truck y'all got back there? Tony and Mike. Yeah, you're going to tell them they might want to get out the truck because it's not, yeah. I've been lifting weights and I've been working in the garden, so I got rid of the few pounds I put on over Christmas. I might be kind of quick, you know, so yeah, it's going to be wars all over. You don't have to worry about the rumors of war as soon as they show up. But you're right, positive thought. You are absolutely right. We need to be, and I am an optimist. I'm an optimist, but I also try to be a realist in representing and seeing real danger. I'm not fearful at all. I don't really care what they do to me. The only significant thing are the children we leave behind and the world we leave them into. Leave for them. Most everybody here doesn't wear masks. Maybe 10% wear masks. Yep, Belinda, but every now and then a masker will slip in, which is why it's probably a good idea they see us being confident and just like, yeah, well, you know, if you believe that, then you believe that. But the only way I wear it, like I said, is if, no, and I'm not gonna say the only way I wear a mask. I think the only way I would be cautious is if I knew anybody with the cuckoo virus, government ever proved anything that they've been saying this for 2.5 months now. I've seen no proof of nothing. And if I had an autoimmune condition, I'd be cautious. If I were elderly, I'd be cautious, right? That's it. That's it. Right now, I have no caution. I don't really care. I don't really care because I haven't seen any evidence. And if you don't have any real good evidence in 2.5 months and it's a pandemic, I need to be more fearful. I know people that got cancer. I know people that got cardiovascular disease. I know people that got autism, and I see more and more amounts of them. I'm not seeing anybody with the cuckoo virus. So it's just like the whole Black Lives Matter thing, right? If you're true, then you will go after the biggest number if that really matters to you, right? If your citizens' health matters, you'd be seriously fixing cancer. You'd be seriously taking care of autism. You'd be seriously taking care of the top, which is still cardiovascular disease. You'd be going after the pharmaceutical industry, not in orgies with them with the Democrats and Republicans. Because what, medicine are like one of the #1 killers, malpractice? Is one of the #1 killers, right? If you actually cared about the people, that's what you do. If American lives matter to the American government, they go after the corporations that are killing the Americans, and they're not, they're in bed with them. Only realists are honest optimists. Okay. Let me see. Genie's in the Bay Area. All right. I remember that. San Francisco Bay, Genie. I remember San Francisco Bay. That's where y'all got that prison. That's where y'all got that prison. They dragged me out. That's the first prison I saw. Is that damn Alcatraz. I don't know why my aunt would take me to a damn prison. Like, I don't need to see the prison. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with them trying to put me in that thing. I don't need to go see the prison. I got in the cell and I made a firm decision, Jeannie, when I got in that cell. I looked around that dirty Alcatraz cell and I saw the toilet. I saw the dirty floor. I could have swore I saw brown marks that were still in that toilet from probably 50 years ago when it closed. And I looked around, I didn't see no Transformers, I didn't see no He-Man, I didn't see no Freedom. I said, nah, I ain't gonna, we're not gonna do this. I'm in a privileged family, we're not gonna do this. No. I ain't gonna do no crimes. I will follow the rules in my papa house, and I will follow the laws of the land until it's time to break them. When it's time to break them, that's another discussion. I wear them where they are mandatory, like the grocery store, kind of need food and essentials. I agree with you, Brett, and I agree with that as well. I do too. When I go to the grocery store, I put on my cotton thing. I don't wear no medical equipment. I'm not a medical professional, so I don't wear medical equipment. And Home Depot and the Lowe's. But I do that out of respect for other people, Brett. Not that I'm going to get them sick or that they're afraid to be sick, but that's what they want. Most people go along with it. And we are one big family. We can disagree on everything in the world, from politics to cuckoo virus to whether or not these wars are for freedom and democracy. We can disagree on gun control, but at the end of the day, we're all in it together. And people are really scared. People are really scared. So I wear it mostly for them. And Tony Smith will call me an effing idiot. And that's okay. I'm fine with that just as well. But we all gonna sink or swim together. We're all gonna live or die together. I don't like doing it because I feel like I'm feeding into the fear, but I take it off just before I go out the door, and I'll put it on in after I go through the door. Oh yes, that's the trick, a balance of both. One cannot truly be a warrior without a gardener's heart. Ooh, sinking up, Warden. You said that because of me. I'd stop on that one. A warrior with a gardener's heart. Yes, because warriors have codes, and the garden operates on a code. Right? The balance. Warriors aren't drones for kings. Warriors, they war, and they bring the ultimate level of violence when needed on a code, not for a king. People who war for kings are drones, right? The garden has a code. Things work together. The warrior has a life to sacrifice. Plants and the pests will sacrifice their lives in the garden for sustainability. Right? So you got to be a warrior, but you got to be wise, or you're not really a warrior. All right. I was tempted to look at the news, but kind of not really. I don't know. And they don't have the medical resources. We did that, so I prefer orange flavored evil. Oh, Courtney, you prefer it orange, huh? Yeah, you know what? Well, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you said that is evil. That's a good thing. And I know you're not scared of the orange person. I prefer evil with the appearance that will get people to stop believing in the system. So, but I can't go as far as you. I don't want to pick a least of the evils. I think evil is evil is evil is evil, but I'm so glad that you said it that way because you're identifying it as evil. We cannot avoid having a president. Yes, we can, Amanda Honeycutt. Yes, we can. We can avoid it. We can avoid it. Are we going to? That's another question. Are people signified enough to say I don't need a leader? The answer is most likely no, right? We can, but we're not going to. But for me, I need to make sure that my number is not counted, Amanda. I have these morals and ethic things. I believe in killing children is bad. I believe bombing people, there are no casualties. I believe going to another person's country, another land, and abusing people is not something I can support. I can't support them abusing people here. I can't support all the laws. I can't support nobody's life mattering. And they need to know that I know that nobody's life matters. So I got to do what Sandy's doing. I got to do what Sandy's doing. I have to figure out how to unregister and not be a part of it no more. I don't want my number counted in this plantation no more. These people have been impoverished and ignored for hundreds of years, and suddenly they exist because they fit the narrative of the pandemic. Who is that, Trish? Who are y'all talking about? Native lives don't matter unless they're boosting the cuckoo. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Absolutely, right? It's like African lives. They don't matter neither until the people in America want a cure. And then the pharmaceutical industry can see them again. We need to go save Africa. We got to go test them. And what I was thinking about is the Tuskegee experiment. Right? Like there's equal and opposite reactions to everything. Everything's connected. Everything you do affects somebody somewhere, somehow, some way. Everything you say, because all things are connected. And so you had the Tuskegee experiments, right, where they injected those people with syphilis. They picked the poorest people they could find who were just the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of socioeconomics, like in Africa. Supply meets demand. As long as people are scared of syphilis, you're going to have to find some people to test on to create that the supply for the demand. If you have fear of syphilis, because you can't keep your pants up, then they're going to find poor people to experiment on. Right? So the same people who were scared of syphilis back then that forced the supply and demand of experimenting in Tuskegee experiment is the same energy and the same people today who are wearing masks and gloves and bioweapon lab equipment and going out. And they're causing the people in Africa to get experimented on. And the people of Africa ain't got no choice. They got puppet governments. Right? So that's what I'm saying. I don't feed into it. And people, we need to bring it down and we need to stop because you have a lot of people who are going to die. You have people with autoimmune conditions and the elderly who will die if we allow them to be experimented on in these forced medicine, forced product, because it's not medicine, these forced products they want to inject in people. And a lot of those people don't know any better, right? And so if I had a choice, do I change my lifestyle? Do I get rid of stress? Do I grow a garden? Should I eat healthier and not eat junk food so I don't have a problem with viruses when they come around? I think I'll choose that before I'll choose a corporation that's going to abuse them and kill some of them. Corporations that claim no responsibility for the products they make. Corporations that have so little belief in their product that they require the government to pay people if they hurt anybody. That was Reagan. Right? If you don't believe in your product, ain't no way in hell I am. It has nothing to do with vaccines, the idea of synthetic drugs and medicine. If you don't believe in it, I don't. You know, if you don't believe in it, then no. Look, if you're not willing to inject yourself, you damn sure you're going to inject me. Not with a living body. That's not going to happen. So yeah, back to gun control. Yeah, I don't believe in gun control. No guns should be controlled by governments that own tanks. Period. End of discussion. Wealthy people who own governments that own tanks and drones should not be making you stupid enough to say that, yeah, you need to take our guns. That's more of that. When the wealthy do it, it's okay. When the poor do it, it's a crime. I'm gonna go down my timeline. I'm gonna see. I think there was a bunch of posts over the weekend. I was thinking about when we were doing this Mexico thing. I didn't get back tomorrow, but yeah, I think HR 5717 I think that explains gun control and what they've always been up to, based on what they're doing in Mexico. That's what they've always wanted. They wanted the wealthy to have the ability to defend themselves and the poor victim of whatever they need to do. And so they tax the ability for you to have a fire on your arms. And I think as long as you got corporations that got tanks and can buy governments, then everybody needs to have fire on their arms. All the poor people. And this is the hypochondriac thing, right? Every family has hypochondriacs, and y'all know them. Don't tell me everybody has one. And to every family was delved thine hypochondriacs. We all have them. And do you let them plan the vacation? Okay. Do you let them plan the trip, the picnic? Do you let them control what everybody does when we get to the beach? If we're going on a hike, do you listen to the hypochondriac? Okay, so we might want to rethink this idea of letting them design the new world. Okay, might want to rethink this idea. The hypochondriacs in my family, I love them to death. I know. Don't want to go out the house, you're scared of the dirt, don't want to walk in the grass, might be bugs on it, might be scared of the air and oxygen and everything else. Yeah, I love y'all to death, but I will never live in a world where hypochondriacs dictate what I do. That's just stupid. Okay? That's just not a fun trip. It's not a fun trip. Nope, because they're always trying to wipe you down with something. Did you touch that tree? Give me here's a wipey. Say, no, I touched the tree because I'm a tree hugger. I love trees. So yeah, we can't let hypochondriacs design a new world. That's a new normal that you are not gonna like. Don't confuse folks that say, oh yeah, it's all a hoax. Cause you know how they like to put you in that Trump camp if you say that no, that I'm not playing cuckoo virus with you. They're like, oh, you believe in Trump and you believe it's all a hoax. I don't watch the news and I have no idea what Trump says about the cuckoo virus. But don't confuse those people who are saying things based in empirical realities that we all live in. Your government always lies, and they have not stopped. They're in bed with Big Pharma, and they take bribes, right? They're going to keep doing what they've always been doing. And if you can put those pieces together, and you know that the WHO and the CDC are vaccine corporations, then you understand. How would I know if it's a hoax? Why would I even care? I don't care if it's a hoax. That doesn't do me any good. That only does good cop, bad cop good when you have a plan. I don't have a plan. They don't tell me nothing. All I know is they always lie. So until they prove it, not interested. Stop linking people together. You're feeding into the politics. Yes, a Lex Luthorish plot. Straight out of a comic book. A plot to give 7 billion people a product by force. Sounds like a really bad comic book. Oh, that was the Emmy thing from this week. It's a really bad comic book. But you got people who need heroes now, so that's just where we are. How can people live like this? They can't, Jonathan. The goal isn't for them to live. The goal is for them to depopulate. The goal is for them to capitulate as slaves or die. Right? People can't live like this, but I think they don't know. Most people don't have a strategy mind. I think, Jonathan, I know you do because you read. You got that critical thinking mind. You're thinking through things. Most people don't have that. They want to be told where to go, when to go, how to get there, when to get there, what they need to take, what they need to bring, who to bring, why to bring them, and what to do when they get there. And that's most people. I think we're on a slave planet. There are a lot of us who are like, nope, you ain't gonna tell me where to go, when to get there, who I can take, what I'm gonna take, when I'm gonna take it, and what I'm gonna do when I get there. Most people want to be slaves. Most people were born slaves. Like Harriet Tubman said, I freed a couple thousand slaves. I could have freed thousands more if only they knew they were slaves. And that's why people think they can live like this. But the plan of this on the other side is not for them to live. The only plan on the other side of this is power and money, and you not having any. That's what systems do. It's not personal, it's just business. I do that to everyone about snakes. What do you do to everybody about snakes, Belinda? Let me see. You said everything would go back to normal after June. July. July, because they always lie. You always lying. They just, all they can do is lie. And they should. It's important. It's important, and it makes sense in terms of things of the world. If people believe the lies, then government's supposed to keep lying. Democrats are not supposed, DNC is not supposed to tell no Democrats the truth who are voting Democrat. And the GOP would be stupid to tell the Republicans anything true too. They're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear to keep you voting. Black Lives Matter. They're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. We're going to build a wall to keep you safe from immigrants, but we're going to keep the war on drugs that keeps them coming to you. We're going to give you universal health care, but we're going to keep poisoning you through the food, water, and the air and disease management, right? Like everything is a scam. Everything is ridiculous. Universal basic income. What does that should be? Well, it should be corporations paying people for actually being able to operate in their country. That's not what they're going to do. It's like the Republicans like, no, you're going to take money from me. You're going to tax me to get the people, which is stupid. That's what they always do. Good cop, bad cop. It's just how it gets down. Asking another way. Right, Coke and Pepsi. If you ask Coke to cure Pepsi, you're going to get Coke. If you go to vaccine companies to cure because you're scared of the cuckoo virus and you don't want to eat healthy, then they're going to give you their product. And if you die, that's your problem. You consented to it. If it's true and most people are under a spell, yes, the magic wand is the television set. Most people are under a spell. Somebody posted that a little while ago. They said, everybody's under a spell. My family just texts me right now. I know they're under spells. I'm not even sure what that is. Ooh, did that just disappear? No, I moved down too fast. This sister Lori posted this. The other Lori. A 5G mask. I don't even know what that is. And I'm afraid if I even look at what it is, they're going to delete the video. But people are under a spell, and the most intelligent people are lost and clueless, like the people in these protests. They got that warrior passion, but they don't know who did this to them. Everybody is on their own timeline. Yes, they are. Go down, go down, go down, go down. What is this? Putin rise to power. How a 1999 Russian bombing led to Putin's rise to power, which is interesting. And you know what? And I'll probably watch that later. But the only reason I watch it is because it's not mainstream news. Like, where I get my news from, the reason I was talking about Mexico this weekend, because there was a person who lived in Mexico who was on Joe Rogan's show, giving him a person experience coming from Mexico. To me, that's news. He's telling me about a person, right? That is legitimate in terms of you were there on the ground, this is what you saw, and I can form a good opinion off of that. Right, but if you tell me what the people of Mexico are experiencing, the people aren't experiencing anything. The persons are experiencing things. You know, and Emilio posted it, which means that I know the brother, he watches important things and he only posts things he finds to be important. But your mainstream media will only tell you what it thinks is important, what it wants you to know. So I'll listen to podcasts all day long. I'll listen to them all weekend long, and I'll watch things that my friends post. But if ABC, Fox, NBC, and CNN, and any of them liars posted war criminal organizations in bed with the United States Incorporated and NATO Alliance, I'm not going to watch it. Thinks folks scared of syphilis. All right, new right Tuskegee experience. We did that. Oh, this is great. Ooh, y'all, this is Charlie Chaplin, right? Charlie Chaplin, let's do that.
I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my... I'm sorry. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery.
By default. You know what he's talking about back before they even knew about the warrior genes. That's what he's talking about. This is what observation will get you. You don't need to know the science. You can just observate. By default, we are decent people. He understood the problem with power and leadership. I love this little speech.
We don't want to hate and despise one another.
We don't want to hate.
In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone.
Eden.
The way of life can be free and beautiful.
It can be.
But we have lost the way.
Lost our way.
Greed has poisoned men's souls.
Everybody's
has barricaded the world with hate.
Barricaded the world with hate, and you're voting for it with every time you pull that lever. Every time you pay your taxes, every time you go to the gas station and pump gas. It's not just voting. They've built a world where you can't sell out. It's a requirement for you to sell out. The only people who didn't sell out, they're all dead, they're in the cemetery, or they're in prison. Everybody who is not in prison or dead is a sellout. That's just real talk. There are just people who want to sell out less. Absolutely.
As goose stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness...
Oh, wow, I missed that one. Machines that create abundance left us in want. He's talking about automation. He's talking about robotics and things of his time, the industrial age, a little after that, around that time. But we're in the same problem. We have the same problem. We have automation and robots and industrialization that aren't helping people who are on the street who are asking for help. Right? Why is Black Lives Matter and protesting? Well, because they want votes, but that's not the point. The passion of the people, the ones who are there, who are not affiliated with the top of the organization, the Democratic Party, they just want to be left alone. They want peace, freedom, and they want what the other side wants. Everybody wants the same thing, but they lack, too many people lack the critical thought, the thinking, the wisdom to put together why we're all being abused is because we're not working together. Right? When the television can get you to attack other poor people who never did anything to you, you'll never have the abundance that he's talking about.
Hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness
of man. Radio in his time, internet in our time. And that's the only purpose I have for the internet, is to hear everybody's story. That's why I don't let my black people abuse my white people, and I'll let my white people abuse my black people, or Americans abuse anybody else. Anytime somebody says something that's untrue, I'll be the first one to step up and say something, because this is my thread. It's my thread. On my thread, we talk about honest and truthful things. You start lying about slavery, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You start lying about American privilege, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You start lying about Native Americans, all those women going to disappear, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You start talking about reparations, I'm gonna tell you the most abused community that's ever existed on this planet is not a race, all right? Because until we start questioning our own indoctrination and the bullshizzle we were given through those televisions, we'll never be free. You're fighting a system that created division to keep you a slave. If you keep fighting on the ways it divided you, you will always be a slave. He knew way back then, using the automations for greed and corporations instead of using them to feed the people so they don't have to march on the street and burn down Target because they have no opportunity in jobs, right? The sick thing about this is when did Charlie Chaplin do this? It was about 30, 40 years ago, 50, no, it was longer than that, probably damn 70 years ago, right? And we still got the same problem now. We still have the same, we haven't learned anything. Television.
Men cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children. Victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You
are not chattel. You are men. You are women. You are not owned by a Democrat Party that just wants votes that are dropping brown bodies with white ones, right? Do you see what he's not just talking about soldiers. He's talking about anybody. Anybody who is involved in the act of soldiering. You're not chattel for them, right? They get book deals on you dying and being shot by police and you being shot by each other, ignoring the resources in your community because they gave them to corporations, right? It's just not the soldiers he's talking about. It's anybody who will line up behind an abuser and think that abuser has your best interest in mind.
Men, you have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful.
Make this life free and beautiful. Create the machines to create the happiness. removing the human race from drudgery, removing the human race from the things that automation can provide, instead of using machines to bring misery and disparity and blow up nations and destabilize them, because that's what we make money doing, to give American privilege so nobody else has it. Use it to help people. He was saying this a long time ago.
To make this life a wonderful adventure, then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
And I agree, Justin. It brings tears on, because they got that music. They got that music from, I don't know what movie that is. It makes me emotional too. And the idea of doing the default that's in all our hearts, right, is making a better world. You know, but I have to stop on the democracy part. Anytime you say democracy, I sober up a little bit, Justin. I sober up a little bit. It's like, no, let's not unite in the name of democracy. He didn't understand what Plato was saying about democracy. It's mob rule. I hit the brakes on that, pumped the brakes on that one, but everything else he said was spot on. We can save the human race at any point in time. We just got to stop talking about it and doing it. That's it. Stop talking about it and do it. And that's why I come on here and I talk about stuff because it helps keep me sane. There are good people here. I get good perspectives here. I get to talk to people from all around the world who seem to agree that it is time to free the human race, that it's time to become something beautiful. It's time to use automation and science and robotics to help people, to free people, instead of make money, instead of to force medicine on, use the technology to create a by force medical police state, use a police state to keep people safe. Use science to feed people, use automation to build their houses and to free them so they can become the beautiful creatures they should be. Hell yeah, it makes me cry. It makes me emotional. Because we can do it. And it's actually pretty sad too, though, when you watch it, because we could have done that long time ago. Long time ago. And we're still arguing about white and black, Christian and Muslim, American and not. It's a damn shame. It is beautiful, Christine. That should be on television, brainwashed into their minds. It should be, Christine. It should be. Take out the democracy part, and we can deprogram people. And to me, that wouldn't be brainwashing. That would be deprogramming the wash that was already in there. Instead of divide up and fight, come together and walk away. And that's all you got to do, is come together and walk away. It really is that easy. I can spell, but choose not to for obvious reasons. I'm good to hear that, Miss Tree. I can't spell, and I choose not to not care about not caring because I didn't hit my climax. Somebody got me this weekend. One of the grammar Nazis got me this weekend, Miss Tree. I was going to say something about it. I decided not to. It's like, I don't care. Like, the purpose of communication is to communicate. The purpose of language is to lie. They created languages to lie, to say things that aren't truthful. Before languages, you couldn't say things that weren't truthful. All you could do is go, ruh, 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 boom, boom, da, ga, 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 ga. And nobody had any idea what the hell you just said. Like, what you want, the club or the rock? What you want? I don't understand you. Ga, ga, ga. You know, they created language to lie. You know, they created language to say things that aren't true. When it comes to communication, Miss Tree, I'll make a post and everybody knows exactly what the hell I'm saying. Well, that's not true. Sometimes I'm a little obtuse because you got to be on social media. But no, you know exactly what I'm saying. You don't need to correct my words, spelling and grammar and punctuations, all that, because I don't really care about the King's English. I understand who did this to me. It wasn't the white people. I understand who did this to me, and they gave me that language, so I really don't care too much about it. But it's all about vibration and communication. If you got the communication, what's the point in language? Because the king tells you that you got to do it right. It's wrong when you do it, but it's right when they create it wrong. Language, that's a funny thing. I know people who had it, and folks who have loved ones with it right now or die from it. Do you, Jeannie? Okay, like I said, I know people that know people that know some people. I don't know anybody that has the cuckoo virus. I don't know anyone. And I think I already had it because I get the flu every year. Every year I hug people, Jeannie. I kiss people. I'm being around people. I play in the mud, play in the dirt, socialize to make sure I get my flus every year. I want my body to be strong. It's exercise, right? If you're not using your immune system, you're losing it, right? Your immune system is a muscle. Getting that dirt and grime, eating your food without washing your hands. I haven't done one of those pictures in a while. I gotta go play in the garden and eat lunch without washing my hands so people can see that. If you want to be strong, you have to get the viruses. You have to expose your body to the elements, the natural world. If you want to be weak, if you don't believe in nature and you want to wage war on nature, you think big corporations do nature better than nature, then yeah, you stay in a synthetic environment and believe that the television and believe what big corporations say who are trying to outsource nature. Right? Me, I believe in the organic world, in nature. I'm gonna stick with that. That's been working pretty damn good for 1 billion years, populated the whole planet. I'm gonna stick with that. Y'all can go on with Fauci and Bill Gates and the WHO, CDC, and Coke and Pepsi and Snicker bars and Hershey. Y'all, you can go with them and let them create your solutions. I'm gonna stay out the experiment. I'm gonna do what the natural world says. Which means I got to get my cleansing every single year. Every single year I get the flu and I don't get sick, and it's working for me. So I don't care nothing about what they call medicine and drugs. How does the saying go? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I ain't broke, so you're not gonna fix me. But they've convinced so many people that they're broke. Their immune system doesn't work. Their body doesn't work. When really they just don't eat the right foods. They don't live healthy, right? And as long as you can break people, you can sell them, you can outsource a solution to them. You know, they've convinced so many people that they're broken, and they're not. None of my people got sick and all accounted for. No funerals, no grieving families from people ripped away unexpectedly. The only evidence is on MSN. And that's not evidence. It's television, right? The evidence I saw, Justin, from the brother on Joe Rogan, he said it plain. He said the doctor gave my friend 3 months to live. He lived 3 months and he died. And they said it was the cuckoo virus. He said it was not the cuckoo virus. It was liver cancer and cirrhosis. And that's what he died from. He said, but they put on the death certificate cuckoo virus. So we got that evidence. We know they're lying. We know that they're lying. Then there's a doctor that's paying $5,000 if anybody can prove to him that the cuckoo virus. Like at some point in time, it's got to make you want to question the system, right? If you don't have to say it's a hoax, but at some point in time, you have to realize that they did this and they created the stimulus to give private hospitals a whole lot of money, right? Like, what is more plausible? That there actually is a pandemic during your lifetime and it wasn't one ever during your lifetime, and it wasn't one during your grandparents' lifetime except for the Spanish flu, which was the Alabama flu, which the U.S. government took over there for war, and war in all the governments there made it into the flu that it was. You know, there are no pandemics the government didn't help during your lifetime, your parents' lifetime, your grandparents' lifetime, maybe your great-grandparents' lifetime. So what's more plausible? That you are in a pandemic or that your government's lying? They always lie. They've always been lying. And that's for me, that's all it is. So I'm not saying it's a hoax. I'm not even sure I know the definition of hoax. I'm just saying I don't know anybody and they're lying about the statistics. Right? That's proven. That's why the doctor said they need to change the coding back. Anybody who died during that time frame got listed as cuckoo virus, right? So, and then we also found out that the test didn't work. So I'm not saying none of it's happened. I'm not saying there aren't no tests that work. I'm not saying that people didn't die. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that obviously what we're being told isn't the truth. You know, from the time I was a reporting statistician in the pharmaceutical industry, 2 years I did that. The one thing that you never did mid-experiment, mid-gathering data for results is change how the data's coded. You change how the data's coded, you destroy all that whole data set is gone. You can't do anything with it. There's no conclusion. There's no summary. There's nothing you will get from that reporting run if you change the criteria of what the data is based on, right? So the minute they changed the coding of what people died from was done. You can't trust anything after that. And besides, the tests don't work, right? But everybody on television is acting like they do. They're acting like numbers are going up while they're testing more people. And that should tell you somebody want to step on your feet. That should tell you that way down in the jungle deep, somebody about to put out a medical state and step on your feet.
Way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on the signifying monkey. The monkey said, motherfucker, can't you see while you standing on my goddamn feet? Right on.
All right, I gotta get going. Last couple comments and I'm out. I'm not claiming none of this stuff. Yeah, don't claim it, Sandra. Rebuke it. That's what you do. Anytime the Who said, guess what the Who said? I rebuke thee. Guess what the CDC said? I rebuke thee. I already know what you are. You're a for-profit vaccine company. I already know what you said. You got something that's gonna help me. It's okay. I don't live in your world. I don't believe in your pseudoscience. People who need to, and I think that it should be as quality as we can make it. So you should be completely open source, and everybody needs to know who created you, who funds you, and then bring in an open science conversation about any product you make. But I don't want none of your products. I'll die first. I'm happy to die first. I am happy to live free, live organic, live natural in a natural world. I've got faith. And if the air wants to kill me, then it's time for me to die. If cuckoo virus is supposed to get me, that's when I'm supposed to die. But I ain't gonna go cuckoo. I can get a virus, but you will never get me cuckoo. Because I really don't care about the fake world. You're not gonna get cuckoo out of me. It's cuckoo enough just watching y'all. That's what I'm saying. I paid good tickets for Earth and I'm gonna enjoy the show. But I'm not gonna go cuckoo. I'm just gonna sit there and watch y'all's clock go cuckoo, cuckoo. Look at the left, look at the right, see what's happening now. Some murder hornets come out, the stage alien invasion, whatever the next thing the news just needs to get everybody in an uproar about. I'll watch people go cuckoo, but you're not gonna get me in that trouble. Nice to know the pockets of resistance. Yeah, it's what, you know what, Trish? Don't nobody say Gerard said protesters unite the protesters. I love protesters. I think everybody should protest everything all the time. I'm completely okay with that. I love protest. I just think that we need to think a little more about what are we protesting and what's the solution. All right, I gotta get going. Looks like this thing dropped anyway. Looks like it dropped. That's it. I hadn't said something. They said, nope, you done. I'm out. Listen, this is Gerard. I might be done on Facebook. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Oh, you know what? Let me do this just for everybody else. Play this exit. Looks like my video on Facebook is out. I can't see it, so they shut that sucker off. Because you got to believe in the WHO. You got to believe in the CDC. You have to trust for-profit companies that know nothing about health to tell you what in the world it is to be healthy. So, I don't know what that means, if that was a network hiccup or it's time for some more prison and Facebook. I'm fine with that. But as long as I live, I'm gonna act like I'm dead. I'm gonna say the truth, things that I gotta say, and I'm gonna live free. And I'm gonna die on my feet. But I will never capitulate to lies and cope about what are the best and safe and healthiest beverages to drink. That's just ignorance. Never engage in ignorance, and when you see it, when you see that centering starting to happen like that right there, call it for what it is, right? It's all about profit, greed, and power. Never capitulate to that. This is Gerard. Listen, y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. I am out of here. Bye and bye. We can have a free world. We can free the human race. But we got to start saying unpopular things that will allow us to have our freedom and not capitulating as slaves. Y'all have a great day. Always accept the real world. When you're way down in the jungle deep and if something steps on the signified monkey's feet, act like the signified and don't monkey around. Y'all have a great day. Gerard, love y'all now. Bye. Do you want a free